Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and we are here to break down the Week 3 preseason. The shortened preseason is now finished for the NFL, and teams are getting geared up, cutting rosters all the way down to 53. We have some intriguing news, and that's what I'm here to give you, provide you some of the key components over this past week, and that we noticed from some of these teams that we're going to give you fantasy value in your drafts, in your season long, and possibly best ball leagues as well. We're going to start off with the Colts. The Colts had an injury with T.Y. Hilton. Hilton will be out for approximately 3 weeks that they got right now so far in the report with a neck injury. And this is going to solidify Zach Pascal and Michael Pittman into our wide receiver sets. You got Michael Pittman going pretty late, round 9, round 10 in that range. Definitely is going to be someone to look forward to as long as we got the positive outlook of Carson Wentz. Then we know that there's not many target competition for Michael Pittman. He came on strong last year, so I definitely foresee a breakout season for him, especially with T.Y. Hilton. It's more of the same with him. In and out, nicks, bruises. It's always something up with T.Y. Hilton. His prime is long gone. Do not foresee him, rekindling his old status. So we're going to look and we're going to find and going to get Michael Pittman, go all in on him in drafts as well. Zach Pascal is going a little later. I don't really see fantasy upside. There's a ton of other wide receivers to get besides him in those later rounds, okay? Next is going to be the Panthers. We have right here Sam Darnold stepped up in his final preseason showing. He showed some signs of progress. They clearly want to limit Darnold. He was a lot of short routes, so he was connecting a lot with DJ Moore. He targeted him very heavily, 6 for 48 yards, solidifying those shorter routes and reading the defense, not taking many chances. Not saying that we did that with Sam Darnold with the Jets. Obviously, Adam Gase is a cancer, and he's not a quarterback whisperer. So Carolina, he has weapons there. As long as they get open, he should be able to find avenues to facilitate the ball to DJ Moore, to Robbie Anderson, and Terrace Marshall, the rookie, who also had a very nice showing in the last preseason game, 3 for 43 and 1 TD. So Carolina Panthers are on the up and up going into week 1, going against the New York Jets. Next team we're going to speak about is going to be the Buffalo Bills. And this game showed a very red-hot Josh Allen. He went off pretty much of how he left last season, 20 of 26, a ton of passes. This is a throw-first team. Clearly, 26 passes. That pretty much was in the first half. He got 2 touchdowns. We saw some Zach Moss work clearly with the first teams. Got some third down work as well. Even got a catch and a TD in this game from Josh Allen. So we already see a clear cut. Number 1 is going to be Zach Moss, and third down work will be split between Matt Breida and Devin Singletary. Okay, so you got the first and second down back was going to be Zach Moss, and then the red zone back is going to be Zach Moss as well. And then you'll see them work in Matt Breida and Devin Singletary in some, spot situations, maybe to relieve a little bit of Zach Moss. But Moss looks like an absolute steal going late in drafts, round 8, round 7, in that range, depending when you really want to take that shot on him. Also, another guy who's a potential breakout is going to be Gabriel Davis, the wide receiver that played very well for the Buffalo Bills last year, was the number 2 wide receiver in touchdowns for the Bills, right behind Stephon Diggs. Now he comes into a situation where there's no John Brown. Obviously, they have Emmanuel Sanders, but there's a clear connection between Gabriel Davis and Josh Allen, especially in that red zone. And it spoke volumes in this game where you saw him connect for 31 yards, and you see that touchdown for 31 yards. Plus, he had 5 receptions, 75 yards, and obviously that TD. So we have a possibly another breakout. And I spoke about him in that AFC East breakdown. I told you guys that he's a possible breakout candidate, and you're seeing it in the proof in that first half against Green Bay. Gabriel Davis is someone to look out for. Next team we're going to look at is going to be the Baltimore Ravens, and this is just injury news. Early in this game, they blew out the Washington Redskins, but J.K. Dobbins got some early down work, got injured. He is out for the season, and now we have a full situation of Gus Bus, and he'll take over lead back roles. The number 2 running back in this offense now is going to be Tyson Williams. He's going to be backing up Gus Edwards. Obviously, the technically the second running back in his team is going to be Lamar Jackson. Tyson will get the whatever work is after that, but you should be going all in on Gus Edwards. Phenomenal yards per carry last season. Now he's getting more work now. He was definitely the red zone back then. So now he's getting that 20 to 20 work plus red zone work. Obviously splitting some carries with Lamar Jackson and Tyson Williams, but he's the number 1 guy now, and this is a very dangerous rushing team, and good line, and everything is built around this team to rush. All right, they just need more efficiency from Lamar Jackson throwing the ball, but we're all in on Gus Edwards as well. Next team is going to be the Denver Broncos, and this was after the news coming out that Teddy Bridgewater won the job. He solidified it just a little bit more, 6 of 11, 62, and a touchdown. The key about this game, we saw the return of Courtland Sutton, and in that first half, he looked like that number 1 target, just like the guy he was the year prior before his injury. 2 for 27 and a TD. He looked fine on some of his routes. And also, we did not see any Javonte Williams in this game. They felt comfortable of the way he performed in the first 2 preseason games, and they gave Melvin Gordon all the first-team reps. So you're going to look at a running back duo right here between Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. I prefer Melvin Gordon going later in drafts, round 7, round 8, instead of getting Javonte Williams is going around round 5, round 6. Gordon is still that number 1 guy. And it's this particular backfield that I'd rather go with the veteran instead of the young guy for now, because obviously I think they want to get the most out of Melvin Gordon and then try to trade him. So that'll be the flip on that way. And it's another situation with the 49ers. I prefer Trey Sermon over Raheem Mostert. So for this situation, we're going to go with Gordon because they're trying to flip him. It is a contract year. So next team we're going to speak about is the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence in his final preseason game finally stepped up, 11 to 12, 139 yards and 2 TDs. With Marvin Jones out and DJ Chark out for this last game, it was the Laviska Shenault show. He had 3 receptions, 33 yards, and 1 TD. He's been doing this consistently in the past 2 preseason games. They have a clear connection. And now with Travis Etienne going, he's probably was going to get some receiving work coming out the backfield, maybe in the slot in 4 wide receiver sets. But I'm not saying this boosts Shenault, but just solidifies the fact that Shenault is the slot guy. Him and Trevor Lawrence have a nice connection, and that is something to look forward to. I like Shenault and Marvin Jones over DJ Chark going into the beginning of the season. James Robinson got a little bit of work. He is going to be the lead back, splitting carries with Carlos Hyde and whoever they decide to throw in there, because they have a whole bunch of bums behind Carlos Hyde. All right. And then the next team we got going on is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. This was the last preseason game for Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. You got to see Garoppolo bounce back from his horrible performance the week prior. You got to see some work with George Kittle. He looks ready to go for the season. You got to see Raheem Mostert get some first-team reps, and you got to see Trey Sermon get some first-team reps. You know Kyle Shanahan, they like to run the ball, and they work the play action after that. So you're going to see Raheem Mostert and Trey Sermon pretty much split carries. I'm hoping for more receiving work for Trey Sermon. And he is definitely a guy I definitely want to get and grab around 9, round 10 in that area where he's getting forgotten about. He's going around that Zach Moss area, Philip Lindsay area, around there. People are probably obviously taking him a little bit sooner because of the upside, and it's there. Raheem Mostert, obviously, the only reason why you know Raheem Mostert is because what he did in the playoffs, leading up in that playoff run. Other than that, he's been a journeyman bum. He's 29 years old, and clearly Shanahan loves Trey Sermon. Eventually, he will take over, and most likely Mostert will get injured anyway. So we're going to go all in on Trey Sermon as well. All right. And last but not least is going to be the New England Patriots. The biggest news of this weekend has been Cam Newton getting cut. Mac Jones has been named the QB1 for the Patriots, and he's been very consistent the past 3 preseason games. Came out again against the New York Giants, 10 of 14, 156 yards, and 1 TD. And this is a huge boost to Jacoby Myers and a huge boost to Damian Harris. Obviously, 4 for 29. He's the lead back. Sony Michel is shipped out to LA. So it's just between Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, and he's going to get all the work. He is going to get all the work. Cam Newton took a ton of red zone touchdowns from him last year. Cam Newton had 12 red zone touchdowns last year. Those red zone opportunities are going to go now to Damian Harris, where he should be the lead back and break out. Now, his ADP could range depending whoever is bullish on him, but you should be, all in on Damian Harris in this situation. Also, for Jacoby Myers, you get a more efficient quarterback in Mac Jones, able to make those intermediate throws, those short throws where Jacoby Myers lives, where he can get open. He's a very efficient wide receiver, can catch the ball, can get open against a myriad of cornerbacks. And that's a huge boost for a number 1 wide receiver going past round 10. That is absolutely insane. And especially in PPR leagues, you should be all in on them. And that is going to be the breakdown for week 3 preseason. Get you guys ready for your drafts. The key points to focus on, definitely the news about the Patriots with Cam Newton being let go. Obviously, Broncos solidifying their QB selection. Cortland Sutton looks good. Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, we know Teddy Bridgewater can support 3 wide receivers. He did it last year with the Carolina Panthers. The big news with the Ravens, Gus Edwards is going to be the number 1 running back. Zach Moss looks great in preseason as well. And then T.Y. Hilton out. That solidifies Michael Pittman in a situation where he could be the number 1. There's also some rumors about him having that Christian connection. That was one of the rifts in Philadelphia where he was only throwing. When I found this out, I was like, what? This is crazy. When he was only throwing the ball to people that, follow Jesus, follow the Bible, because obviously Carson Wentz is very religious. He was only throwing the ball, favoring wide receivers that were religious as well. Now, Michael Pittman, we know that he's a religious man, and that could be a nice tandem. This is some of the reports that have coming out from Philly. It's very intriguing, something to know about that you didn't know. So you got to pay attention, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJustD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out.